juicy.
That always reminds me of. Let's talk about Top Gun Maverick, whose title I feel like is bad, but I feel petty saying it's got a shitty title. It just feels like if you had a Matrix sequence called Matrix Neo, you'd be like, you're telling me no one had a better title than Top Gun Maverick? Like,
hey, you know whose title idea that was? Tom fucking Cruise.
What do we have here?
We're getting back into the danger zone in Top Gun Maverick. This time, it's spoiler free.
Spoiler free for your pleasure.
All for your pleasure, baby.
Yeah, it's been 36 years since Maverick did his thing. And now, 36 years later, turns out fighter pilots, extinct. We don't need them anymore.
Don't need them.
Drones have taken over. Because of that, there's no one currently in the Navy who has any confirmed kills except for one guy. We'll talk about him in a second. So this is a much less experienced group of the best of the best than there was back in 1986. But the Pentagon wants Top Gun to train a group of pilots to do a mission that, for reasons that the movie doesn't really care about and we don't really care about, that a drone can't do. They need fighter pilots to fly and do this crazy maneuver, and only a human can do it. And they say, damn, we need a crazy son of a bitch to do this. And they're like, who could do that? Enter Maverick. He is damn near 60 and still crazy as hell. Iceman is in charge now, and he's like, there's one man for this job. And that is definitely not Maverick, because he is irresponsible. He can't do it, so he'll just train some kids. Okay, Maverick has been sidelined, and he must train the new recruits, this new group of the best to do this crazy maneuver. But again, the drama is that the United States is outgunned now because a foreign nation, which has not been named, we don't know who they are, just like in the first one, they've got better equipment than the United States does because we do drones. So they're like, this has got to be a stealth mission. Get in, get out, go home. This movie is really smart in that it uses my favorite setup for a movie, and that is the heist premise, the heist setup. So everyone knows how this is supposed to go, and everyone knows it will not go like this, right? That's how a heist works. They say, you go here, you go here, you go here, you grab this, you do this, you do that, and we all know that it's not going to work. But that's where the drama. That's where the drama is. This movie has so much drama. It is like oozing, dripping with it. They did the thing that I said I wish they did in Top Gun. I said I wish they just got rid of some of this stuff with all the glasses and the coolness and just focused on the characters. And this movie had the audacity to make me like this corny group of pilots, and then they started shooting at them, and I'm sitting here in my chair like
don't hit them. Don't hit them. I actually care for them.
I actually care, you know. And so the movie starts up. I'm like, okay, so which one of these pilots is gonna die? And then they're like, oh, mission's been moved up. We gotta go now. I'm like, oh, wait, they're not ready. And so the drama is
wait. My babies.
Yeah, exactly. The drama is great. Like, I really, really enjoyed this movie. I liked it a gajillion times more than I ever thought I would. I went in with medium to low expectations. And again, like I said, I had no attachment to this series, no attachment to the first Top Gun. And I'll be blunt, I thought this Top Gun Maverick, was better than the original Top Gun in every single way. This is, I think, one of the best sequels I've seen in a long time.
I'm going to go ahead and top you on that, my friend. I think that this is the best 30-year sequel I've ever seen.
Yeah,
because there was a little bit of 30-year sequel by the name of Come to America that was horrible. Okay, that wanted to nostalgia bait you, and didn't have no substance within their script.
Now, this movie does a fake out on that, right? The movie starts off, and it would appear that Tom Cruise is in the exact same spot, wearing the exact same outfit, driving the exact same car, the exact same motorcycle. I'm like, what are the odds of this guy just standing still for 36 years? But then you're like, oh, he's just celebrating. He's celebrating this achievement that he hopes to make that day. So you're like, oh, okay, it's a little bit of a fake out, and the music's playing. It's like Highway to the Danger Zone. I'm like,
no, I'm getting put that gun down. That metaphorical dumb down. It's not. I'm like, yeah.
It's not because of the song. Yeah. It's because I feel like they're doing the nostalgia bait thing, and I'm like, but it's kind of a fake out. He immediately takes that shit off. He's like, all right, done with this. All the dumb people are satisfied. We're done. Let's move to the actual movie.
All the dumb people.
I'm like, okay, let's go.
All the dumb people.
Okay, not dumb. I should say all the simple people.
No, I love it. Keep that same energy.
I'm gonna say all the simple people who are pleased with imagery and sounds, and it's just like, all right. But because this movie actually has something to say, and there is an actual plot, and there's real drama and real stakes. And the movie knows it, but it also knows that you gotta have Tom Cruise in the sweaty white t-shirt and riding the 80s motorcycle. And they do it. They do all that stuff. But they do it quick. It all happens. It's snap. What the fuck? Hold up. Sorry, man. What the hell? I'm like, ran out of gas.
There it is.
Okay, anyway, I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I know. Drama. But they do it all early, and they get it out of the way, and then there's like a real movie unfolds, and I enjoyed it a lot, mostly because I thought for sure Maverick's not safe. I was like, Tom Cruise might not want to do this anymore. So Maverick didn't feel safe. He had no plot armor whatsoever. Neither did any of the new people. So I'm like,
it's like a real thing.
Yeah, you really feel like this is a suicide mission for real. I'm like, wow, this is great.
Yeah, man. I was all the way in with this film, man. There's only one thing that just took me out that, of course, I felt like that was not needed. Jennifer Connelly and her story. You know, they had to have some love interest in there for Tom, and I'm like, she's okay, well, great.
You needed her because because Miles Teller's character even says that no one cares if Maverick dies because he's got no family, he's got no one to mourn him. So you had to have her so that he's got a reason to come back home, right? He's got a reason to not act like such a crazy mad person. So I understand why she's there. It's a lame
ass reason. I don't like her.
I thought it was fine. The only issue is Tom Cruise is now regular Tom Cruise, who has zero chemistry with any humans, and he had no chemistry at all with Jennifer Connelly.
That's what made it very awkward.
It's crazy, and she's like one of the most beautiful people to ever live on this earth. No chemistry. It might as well.
The way he leaned in to kiss her, just like,
yeah, they're like, I love you.
Yeah, I guess.
All right.
At least they didn't play that song.
They did, Tyrone. They did. I was gonna mention this. So they played all the songs over and over and over again, like Highway to the Danger Zone, but they played them in a dramatic way.
I know that.
They played them in a dramatic way, and you couldn't unless you hear the notes. So it's like boom, 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 boom. Like they do it really slow. I'm like,
yeah, they did.
I'm like, they're sneaking it in here. Look at you. Like tucking it in.
I guess. See, I wasn't paying attention because I wanted those scenes move passes. Keep going.
So I thought that was pretty clever too, to kind of keep up with that motif of playing the same 3 songs over and over again, but they play them in a different way. And that if you're not paying attention or if you don't notice, you wouldn't even notice that it's the same song. It's just in a completely different tone. Like near the end when they're going there on their final mission. They played Highway to the Danger Zone, but they played it in such a scary, ominous way that it really didn't even sound like the song. they wisely cut all the music out. So like when they finally do the heist, it's silent. There's no music. All you hear is the. It's like it's just like the drama. Great. I really, really was impressed by this film. I'm really glad I saw the original Tom Cruise. The original Top Gun first. But this one was great, and I don't think you need to see the original to really enjoy this one.
Not exactly. You don't need to see it, but
they give you a recap.
If they give you all the info, but Tom Cruise said that it only reason he's going to come back to Tom. See, I'm about to say it. The only reason he's going to come back to Top Gun is if there's a great script and story behind it, and if the technology advances to where they can actually be in the cockpits of these F-18s, because they weren't in the F-18s. Like real F-18s in the previous film. And in this, you can clearly see that they're in there. Someone else is flying it, of course, a professional fighter pilot, but it looks intense, man. It looks like something I don't want to do.
I was wondering why he wanted this, and I'm like, so I was like really paying attention to like how they shoot some of the because they use the same angles. There's not that many angles to shoot a guy in a fighter jet. So I was kind of curious like why they did, and the effect is less cool and more terrifying. It's like, these guys are sitting on a rocket. You know what I mean? They're not. This isn't cool. This isn't badass. This is stupid. Like you shouldn't do this. You know what I mean? And so the effect is you see the actors pinned back to the chair and their skin is pulled back and they're being slammed around the cockpit. Like it looks violent. It looks painful. People black out while they're flying. Like it loses a lot of that cool sheen that the original Top Gun had in spades and replaces it with horror. True, like these people are stupid. Like you shouldn't do this. This is not cool. This is not daring. This is dumb. You know what I mean? And
but they're there to protect our country.
I guess. And it's like, I guess. And I like that. I thought that was a really good like change. Instead of going for cool, they went for terror, for horror, which fantastic. I'm with Tom. At first I was like, why risk doing this to have like all these actors in the actual cockpits? But I can see
very
why.
risky.
I can see why. I can also see why the military no longer uses fighter pilots like this, right? Like, why would you do this when you can do a drone? Like, I feel like they unintentionally gave me a great reason to. I'm like, yeah, don't put humans in this. Why? This is crazy. This is crazy shit. You know?
But it's a damn entertaining film.
Yeah, really good. You know, really good.
The look of the film. You know how like when we were talking about the first film, but like the graininess of the film, I don't think it had that type of quality within this film at all.
No, but they did what Marvel does often, at least they used to do, is that you don't care because the drama is just so high, you really feel like you don't have time to like look at the image and see if it's pretty or not. But yeah, it still is a digital film, digital camera.
Who do you think did a really good job in this film, like other than just Tom Cruise?
I think Miles Teller, of course, is a big standout. I feel like the movie wanted you to really like a character named Bob, although I didn't think he was that great. But I feel like the movie wanted you. Bob was supposed to be a scene stealer. I could tell how they set him up, but I'm like, whatever.
Maverick's point, his whole point is, I don't want to be that same person that I was before in my past. Right. Because he did not care about human life.
That's right.
He cared about winning all the time. But now, since he lost Goose, since he's been through that, and he has nightmares about it, and stuff about that, he's like, this mission, even though it is a death mission, he said, I'm going to create this to where they're going to come out alive.
Right. And what's interesting is Miles Teller's character is the opposite of Maverick, right? He is much more thoughtful and much more team oriented, and he has a hard time just not thinking, right? He overthinks. So Miles Teller's character needs a little bit of Maverick in him in order to get over the hill, right? So he's got the exact opposite problem that Maverick did.
When John Hamm, the new person that's he plays the new person in charge, when he was like, no, we're not gonna send you up there. He was like, excuse me, sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
He's like, no, we want you to teach. And he's like, I don't want to do that.
Have you seen that Key and Peele episode where they go to like some old badass's cabin in the woods, and they're like, I've been waiting for you to finally find me. They're like, yeah, we need you to pick out some guys. I'll do it. Like, no,
I'll do it. Yeah.
No,
that's Tom Cruise.
Yeah, exactly.
That's Tom Cruise.
Oh. No, we weren't thinking you'd do it. We were just hoping you could recommend someone for the job.
I guess I could come out of retirement.
No need.
He's like, I'm quicker than I was ever. He's like, go ahead, slap my hand. He's like, shoot me.
Ready.
Shoot me.
Ow!
Oh yeah, man.
Anyway.
That was funny. That was Tom Cruise, because he was like, what?
And
you don't want me to?
That brings me to another big change in the film is humor. The thing that people often dog Marvel on, but Marvel has it right in that you need a little humor because you get a little humanity from humor. This is why you end up liking so many of these characters. This movie is about 9,000 times funnier than the original. The original had really very little to no humor. This one's got a lot of it in here. So I thought that was a great addition, which helped me like the characters. I liked these guys. The first movie, well, I said it was like super homoerotic. This movie is not. I feel like there's a couple nods to it, right? There's like a we know what you think about this film. And so there's a couple nods to it, but outside of that, the kind of unintentionally gay
the volleyball scene. The football scene.
Exactly, that's it. And so if that's something that you're really hoping they have a reference to, it's there. And so that's kind of fun. That's kind of fun for everybody. And they use that to help you, like I said, learn who all these people are and helps you like them, right? So I'm like, oh, look at this.
Yeah. That's the same thing. That's Tom Cruise said that. Yeah. Tom Cruise was like, you wanted a team.
Exactly. There's a team. And so you see them working together. It's fantastic. And I feel like that kind of comes together later, because later in the film they're like doing a dogfight and everybody's got their like role, and then the camera will back out so you can see that they're actually like kicking ass in the dogfight. I'm like, hey, they're doing it. They're doing the teamwork thing. Good stuff. So let's talk about the real scene stealer. I think they set up Bob to be a scene stealer. They set up Bob to be a scene stealer, but the real scene stealer was Iceman, Val Kilmer.
Bro.
He shows up, and I feel like everyone in my theater was like pin drop quiet, because obviously Val Kilmer is going through something that I hopefully none of us can relate to in the real world, and he's had a hard time even speaking. So for him to be back on set with Tom Cruise as Iceman, I just thought it was great and very moving. Yeah, I was like, look at him.
Oh my god! Seriously, he has essentially throat cancer, and it took away his voice, and that's the main thing that you have as an actor.
And Val Kilmer has such a distinctive voice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, and in this film, he is he plays the retired admiral who requested Maverick to be there and teach. I was just applauding him because
it was just great to see him, because you know that it took him a lot of real world effort to do this. And you don't do this for nothing, right? You could tell he did it because he loved this movie. He loved this character. And so to me, that was the real, and there was a joke. He said it. He said like 3 or 4 jokes. He was like genuinely funny. So like, I thought that was just really great. And I can't think of a better way to have included Iceman back into this film other than the way they did it.
Let's get into our rating of Top Gun Maverick. All around great story, edge of your seat action, impulse drama.
I couldn't even breathe throughout that.
I mean, not
and
even right.
I felt myself leaning. I was like, "Oh, am I moving?" You know? Yeah,
I might go back and see this in IMAX.
Yeah,
to be honest.
I think that'd be fantastic in IMAX.
I'm gonna go ahead. I thought that it was hard for me to really think of what I wanted to give this because of how much I appreciated this film. This is probably in my top 10 films of the last probably 5 years, man. But I'm gonna give this a 9.5.
Okay. I'm gonna give this a 9. I like this movie quite a bit, way more than I ever would have thought I would have enjoyed it. To be honest, this wasn't even on my radar to watch this year because I hadn't seen the original, and I'm like, I don't want to see the sequel. I haven't seen the original, and so this to me is it exceeded expectations, and I wonder if this heist, if the heist like format for this film, if that's something that Tom Cruise put on the film, because obviously he does Mission Impossible. So I wonder if that's possible. I wonder if that's some of his input, since he does have a producer credit for this film too. So like I wonder if there's some movie making skills that he helped. I got no clue, and I don't give a goddamn because this movie is just great. Whoever's idea it was, fantastic. I
gave this film a 9.5. Devin gave this film a 9, way better than the original film that he said. So you get out there to the theater like yesterday and go see this marvelous sequel, Top Gun Maverick.
Jeez! Having any fun yet?
Hey, like, thank you for clicking on this video. It's really freaking awesome that you came here. But before you go, click that subscribe button right down there. Okay? It'll do you some good. And hit that like button if you liked our video, or you hit the thumbs down if you didn't like our video. Whatever it is your opinion. But just remember one thing, it's mostly wrong.